Edgar Allan Poe has had cards produced from the late 1800s all the way through today. Some of these cards are pretty rare, while others you can find quite easily. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at his top 15 cards. We'll go through each set as well as going over some comps and the pop report. So, out of the way, let's take a look at some Poe cards. First, I try to limit cards to one per set. Also, I'm probably missing cards in this video. Look, like I've said in my other non-sports videos, non-sports is hard, especially foreign issues. You're looking at 40 plus countries, over 100 years of cards, and not everything is documented online. So if I am missing some really great Edgar Allan Poe cards, please let me know down below in the comment section. I think others would appreciate that as well. Also, for this video, cards are in order approximately by year. Another thing to mention is not all the years are correctly defined by both grading companies as well as collectors. So I'm trying to put it in chronological order based around that and not specifically value. All right, let's start off with saying who is Edgar Allan Poe. So Edgar Allan Poe lived from 1809 to 1849. He's a writer, poet, editor, and literary critic known for his dark Gothic tales and poems. His themes have resonated in films, music, and television with filmmakers like Tim Burton and writers like Stephen King. And then also there's a lot of music inspiration, right? There's a metal band called Nevermore. Iron Maiden and Lamb of God have songs based off of his writings. And obviously there's other artists as well, but I listen to metal music. So also, if you guys want to join our non-sports Facebook group, I think we're at like almost 2.6 or 2.7K members. Link is going to be down below in the description, or you can just look up vintage non-sports card collectors. So with this out of the way, let's take a look at one of the earliest Edgar Allan Poe cards that I'm aware of, and it's this 1878 trade card. I couldn't find any comps specifically on it, but I did pay, I want to say around $250 a few years ago for a copy that was missing part of a corner. SGC started grading these. So in fact, this card I sent out to SGC and it got rejected. Now in our SGC reveal videos, we don't show the rejections, but they usually reject about 10% of the non-sports cards that are sent in. This one has been rejected in the past, but now they're grading it. So I actually may send in my copies. I have two different copies right now. One's nicer and one has the ripped corner. I don't know if the ads are the same. Since this is a trade card, they have different advertisements here on the front. So this is just the one that I found off of eBay. And right now it is a Pop 2 at SGC. I don't know if PSA is grading it. Maybe they will if you send it in. But personally, I do a lot of grading through SGC. So that's where I would send mine. Next is probably the most popular Edgar Allan Poe card. And this is a Duke N76 grade Americans. A PSA 2 sold at Fanatics Collect last year for about $1,500. But that was the last graded comp in about 5 years. So going back, the last one was in 2020. For some reason, Poe doesn't really hit the market. I don't know if these are all in the hands of collectors or what. There has been some private sales on Facebook. And right now it's a Pop 28 at both SGC and PSA. The highest graded out there are two PSA 5s at PSA. SGC wise, it's a 4.5, which I do own that 4.5 copy. All right, now we have the triple over here. So you have Francis Scott Key, which is known for the Star Spangled Banner. Then you have John Howard Payne, also famous for a song during the Civil War. The song's, oh, it's on the card right now, Home Sweet Home. I was going to say the song's escaping me, but it's literally right on the card. And then you have Edgar Allan Poe. A few years ago, there was a lot of N112s. I do believe this card was in the lot. Most of those cards were going for about $500 a piece. If you do remember that eBay auction, let me know what the exact comp was if you do have it, because I am kind of curious. This is only a Pop 3 at PSA, and the highest graded is a PSA 4. Still definitely want to grab this card eventually, but I don't know when the next is going to hit the market. All right, another Duke card, third in a row, is the Duke Poor Boys, the N79. So these are actually booklet cards, and there's a ton of different pages in them. PSA does not grade these, but SGC does. Recent raw sales, these are approaching $500. I definitely think that one N76 sale at Fanatics Collect did kind of increase the value of these N79s because, I mean, two selling for $1,500-ish. These will go up. The last twos on these specifically sold for about $300, and it's currently a Pop 11 at SGC. All right, we're going to jump into 1897 Cincinnati game authors. So this was kind of a game where you had to collect 4 authors to get points or maybe like win the game. And this wasn't the only time this happened. There's actually quite a few other games like that. There's a recently discovered Albert Einstein card that is like that it has 3 other names down below. So make sure to check out the Einstein video whenever you get the chance if you want to see a little bit of a later release. Regardless, this is a Pop 8 at PSA and SGC. I do expect a lot more of these to be out there because games are pretty mass produced. At least this one, I've saw a lot of listings online for the game. PSA 6 is about $275 that sold in 2025. The highest graded on this card is a PSA 7. Again, it wouldn't shock me if there's something a little bit higher in the future, just because game cards in general tend to grade pretty well. They have curved corners, so you aren't going to absorb as much corner wear, and they tend to be preserved in decks. So in a few years, this could be more of a common card. We'll see, but that's what we're looking at in 2025. All right, Mogul Toast. So this card is from like 1909 or 1910. But it can be found under $20. What's interesting about the set is there's over 500 known cards out there. I don't know if it's like a exact number that's been documented yet, but there's 80 subjects. So each subject will have a bunch of different text on the side. What I just grabbed is 3 quick images, right? You have wit, a very cheap commodity. Then you have the boundaries of our country, he who has 1,000 friends, right? And there's probably a lot more of Edgar Allan Poe out there, but just wanted to grab 3 for the slide to show you guys that essentially this card is the same, but it's been printed a lot of times. That's why it's so cheap. If this card was only Poe once in the set, it would be such a more expensive card, but because there's just a gluttony of these out there, that's why you can find it for $20. And look, if you're trying to find an entry-level Poe card that's pre-war, this is a pretty cool card, right? You have the Raven on there as well as Poe, and it actually is a pretty good design both on the front and the back, but it's not rare. All right, Chocolate Poulain. I think that's how I pronounce it. If not, just let me know. This is a French chocolate brand that's been around for a while and made a lot of different cards in the early 1900s. This raw copy over here sold at vintage non-sports auctions in 2024 for about $100. I couldn't find any other comps of this out there. And yeah, I think this is a pretty cool design card. May go after one of these in the future. All right, 1920 Stoll Edwards co-authors. So there's 3 or 4 different versions of these on the SGC Pop. They're based off of some of the different stories. There's one that just has no description, which I assume would be another story. But as you can see, the ones that are listed over here, right between the gold bug or the raven, and couldn't find also many comps based around this. But I assume it's probably about a $50 card. It could be off. I've seen this card posted in our Facebook group a few times, but I probably should have looked up what the asking price was, but I did not for this video. 1924 Men of Genius. This has currently a pop of 20, and a 4.5 in 2024 sold for $150. SGC 8 also in 2024 sold for $276. Highest graded is a PSA 9. The most expensive card in this set is going to be one of the earliest Albert Einstein cards, and if you want to learn a little bit more about that, highly recommend my Einstein video. I think I pumped that twice already in this video, but a lot of similarities between Poe and Einstein cards out there. These Men of Genius, they're pretty tough to find, actually. I've been over to 2 UK shows and only seen a handful at the card shows themselves. And yeah, I really like the design on this card. I did sell an SGC one that had really good eye appeal in the past, but I want to get a higher grade copy in the future. All right, 1952 Topps Look and See, a really popular non-sports set that Topps released the same year as their quote-unquote inaugural baseball set. Obviously, Topps has earlier baseball cards, but that's what the hobby runs with the 52. Regardless, I think this card was featured in one of our top 25 or top 30 sales on eBay in a month, and a PSA 8 in the past sold for $780. The card is a pop 130. If you want to find low grade or raw copies, they're not expensive, but there's a lot of set registry collectors for the set. So once you get to that 7 or 8, you are going to be paying up quite a bit. All right, we're going to modern cards now and feature a few over here. 2009 Topps American Heritage. So there's a base version and then there's a chrome and a refractor. The chrome's numbered to 1776. The refractor is numbered to just 76 copies. And the refractor in a PSA 8 sold for $40 back in 2023. Now we have 2009 SP Legendary Cuts. This is from the iconic baseball set. I actually collected a lot of the baseball cards back when I was a kid, especially like the dual relics. I think those are pretty awesome. All the famous people in the set are numbered to 550. I assume it's like a short printed card or something like that. And they are about $5 a piece if you want to grab a copy off of eBay. 2009 Topps Mayo. This is a football set. And this specific subset within Mayo was called Celebrated Citizens. This one on the back talks about the Baltimore Ravens and, Poe's connection to the Baltimore area. Next, we have the 2011 Allen Ginter 1 of 1 hair relic. This was possibly sold. I was going through some blowout forums and other websites just to try to see if there's any comps on this. And just reading up on some of these hair relics that Ginter had in the past, they typically sold for over $1,000 the same year that they were produced. So I assume Poe was probably sold around there because there's a lot of images of Poe online, unless this is one that Topps distributed kind of as like marketing material. Additionally, I don't know what it would do in today's market. Is this a $5,000 card or is this a $1,000 card? I don't know. I know a lot of the weird Allen and Ginter relics, even like more common stuff, still do like $500 plus, and this is stuff numbered to 10 or 25. This being a 1 of 1 and Edgar Allan Poe. Also, reading up on this, it's kind of interesting. It's theorized that this strand of hair was given away at Poe's funeral or like the day he died. This was something that was kind of common to do back in the 1800s and early 1900s, which I had no idea. So a lot of mystery behind this card. And yeah, let me know if you have a little bit more information on that comp. Lastly, we're going to take a look at the 2013 Topps Garbage Pail Kids brand new Series 3. So in this, they had historical figures as Atom Bomb. And these were issued 1 in 4 packs. There's a few different parallels out there. What I saw posted on a press release for this was blacks were 1 in 24 packs, a silver was 1 in 100 packs, and the golds are apparently only 85 per card. Again, you could find like Genghis Khan in there. You could also find Mark Twain. It was loaded with historical figures. I want to say there's 10 in general. And typically you can find this for about $5. Some of the different rare Atom Bomb stuff does have a big market within garbage pails, but these are relatively easy to find. I do really like the imagery on this one though. And yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm going to put on another top video on the screen right now for you guys to check out on the non-sports side of things. Let me know what other historical figures or subject matters you want to see in another video, and I will make it. All right, see you guys later.